agricultural industry. They are used to spray fertilizers and pesticides on crops and farmlands. The flying involved in aerial application, or crop dusting as it's known, is technically challenging and occasionally hazardous. Pilots who fly these aircraft are highly trained in all aspects of aerial application, from safe pesticide use to entomology to flight skills. We're going to switch to the left side of the tram now and talk about some airliners developed in the 1940s and 50s. If you look a little behind me on your left at that turboprop airliner, that is a Vickers VI Count airliner. The Vickers VI Count is the world's first propeller turbine or turboprop airliner. It was designed and built by Vickers Armstrong Limited of Great Britain. 445 Viscounts were made from 1948 to 1964, and the aircraft flew for over 60 years, with the last Viscount flying until 2008. This plane on display at the museum was the first turboprop airliner ever in North America. It flew from Toronto to New York City for Trans-Canada Airlines and held between 40 and 63 passengers with 3 to 4 crew members. This next plane is my personal favorite on the tour. It's this gray seaplane with the yellow wings. Out the right side of the tram, this is the Sikorsky S43 Baby Clipper, which is an airliner from the 1930s, also used by the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. In the 1930s, many airliners were designed as seaplanes because airports were not common at the time, but lakes, rivers, and oceans made useful substitutes for runways. The Baby Clipper could hold 15 passengers and 3 crew members. This plane that you're looking at flew for Inter-Island Airways in Hawaii in the 1930s and 40s. It later flew in Alaska, where it was damaged in an accident in the 1950s and spent the next 30 years underwater in a lake. It was recovered by a member of the U.S. Marine Corps, and it was restored and later loaned to our museum. Looking pretty good for those 30 years underwater. After World War II, we saw the next generation of airliners take shape in the form of the Constellation, or the Connie. This was due to newly built airports during World War II. The Connie is the silver plane on your right with TWA, or Trans World Airlines, painted in red. It was one of the first long-range civilian airliners to go into service after the war, carrying between 44 and 81 passengers.